Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo. Good morning. Welcome to our online Kahului Hongwanji YouTube Sunday service. Today is September 20th, 2020. And so the months are passing by. We're still in the COVID-19 pandemic situation. We haven't directly felt a lot of impact here in Maui, except for the impact that we feel, of course, by taking the precautions that we have to take. So among them, limiting our Sunday service to this online service, although we are about to have some very controlled in-person services coming up. So I'll say something about that at the end. But we will continue with the YouTube services, because I know a lot of people like that, and a lot of people are still too high risk to their health-wise to come into the church, even if we do have services. And we recommend we beseech people not to come in unless they really are very healthy. So we will now go on with our service this morning. So we'll begin with the Vandana Tisarana as usual, and then we will have the sutra chanting of Jusege, the Japanese, or more accurately the Sino-Japanese version of that chanting. After that, we'll have the golden chain of love, and then I will share a Dharma message with you. And following the Dharma message, the metta, or loving kindness meditation, will be chanted, and followed by the singing of the Nambutsu. And then we'll have a few closing words. Okay? So thank you again for being here. I know even if we can't come together, we are together in spirit, and being able to have this digital version of the service to watch is something that a lot of people are very, very much appreciate. And so we're really glad that we're able to do this and provide this for you. And so also, you enjoy it because you can drink your coffee during the service, right? I think that's a nice idea. So thank you so much, and let's begin with the service. Let's put our hands together in Gasho and recite the Nambutsu. Namo Amida Butsu. 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 Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Homage to him, the exalted one, the enlightened one, the supremely awakened one. Bhutang saranang gacchami, dhammang saranang gacchami, sanghang saranang gacchami. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. Namo Amida Butsu. Setsu Muryo Jukyo Jusege. From the larger sutra, the hymn reaffirming the vow. Gagon chose gon hishimu jodo shigon fumanzo seifu josho ga gao muryo kofu hidai seishu fusai shobin gu seifu josho ga gashi jobutsu do myosho choji po kukyo mi shomon seifu josho ga ryoku jin shonen jo e shubon gyo shigumu jodo isho tennin shi jindiki endai kofu shomu saido shoujo san kumyo kosai shu yakunan Kaihichi egen meshikomo an Heisoku sho akudo tsudatsu zen shumo Koso jomanzo ioro jipo Nichigatsu shuju ki tenko onfugen Ishu kai hozo koseku dokuho Jo dai shuju seppo shishiku Kuyo isai butsu gosoku shu tokuhan Ganne shitsu joman toku isan gai o Nyobutsu mugechi tsudatsu mi fusho Gangaku eri kitoshi saisho so Shiganyako ka daisen o kando Koku shoten nin to chin myoke Naman dabu Naman dabu Naman dabu Naman dabu Naman dabu Naman dabu Ganni shikudoku Byodo sei sai Dou tsubo daishin Ojo andako Namo Amida Butsu, 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 Golden Chain of Love. I am a link in Amida Buddha's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I must keep my link bright and strong. I will try to be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will try to think pure and beautiful thoughts, to say pure and beautiful words, and to do pure and beautiful deeds, knowing that on what I do now depends not only my happiness or unhappiness, but also that of others. May every link in Amida Buddha's golden chain of love become bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Good morning. I'd like to read you a brief passage from Shinran Shonin's poem, Shoshinge. This is a very important part of our Jodo Shinshu tradition, and it's usually chanted every morning. And this version is from our Red Service book, and it is the English chantable version. This is our Red Service book. Yes. You all know that well. So please join me in Gasho as I read this verse from Shoshinge. The reason that Tathagata came forth into our world was to teach Amida's primal vow, boundless as the ocean. Now beings, also boundless, in this evil, impure age, should respond in trust and take to heart Tathagata's true words. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Good morning again. First of all, I want to talk a little bit about something which is found in the book Jewels, which I've been talking about, kind of using as a touchstone. Hope Dr. Ken Tanaka doesn't mind me doing that. I hope he appreciates that we're enjoying his book, and actually I've kind of gotten a lot of people reading this book, so that's the best thing to do. And once again, if you don't have it, you can, or if you'd like a copy of it, you can order it from BDK America. Just look it up on the internet. That's easy to do. BDK America. You can order an actual printed copy. It's a very nominal price, or you can download the PDF. That's the computer file of it, and print it out if you like, and or just read it on the computer screen or from a tablet or something. So it's very, very worthwhile thing to have. Very good introduction to Buddhism for many of us. So I'd recommend it. So today I decided I wanted to touch on what he calls the 4 marks of life. I've also heard them called the 4 marks of the Dharma. And what they are is they're another teaching of early teaching of Shakyamuni Buddha, the historical Buddha, and they are seals, and that is another translation, the 4 seals of the Dharma. Seal as in, you know how something is sealed to show it's authentic? So these 4 things guarantee, you might say, that something is Buddhism. Because there's many teachings, Buddhist teachings, and they differ wildly, on the surface, in their apparent content. So some people say, how come this is called Buddhism, but it's so different than this? For example, Tibetan Buddhism has a lot of, mystical, they call it, esoteric characteristics. Also, Shingon, in Shingon Buddhism, the sect of Buddhism in Japan, is kind of descendant or related to that Tibetan form of Buddhism. It's esoteric, it has to do with teachings that teachers pass on kind of secretly from the teacher to the student. And then of course you have Zen Buddhism. Then you have the Tendai sect, which has all kinds of teachings, and then you have things like many different schools of Pure Land Buddhism, of which Jodo Shinshu is one. But for instance, the more conventional kind of Pure Land Buddhism has a really different slant, you might say, than Jodo Shinshu. In one, on the surface, it looks like you are being told that you have to say Namo Amida Butsu in order for Amida to come get you when you die and bring you to the Pure Land. That even though you cannot become enlightened in this life because you have too much karmic conditions working against you. If you say Namo Amida Butsu, you get saved by Amida in that way. But Shinran, when he said the same thing, say Namo Amida Butsu and be saved, say the Nembutsu and be saved by Amida, but he meant something quite different, in a nuanced way, but quite different than what other schools of Buddhism meant. So there's a lot of different apparent differences in Buddhism. But the Buddha gave these 4 seals of the Dharma, or 4 marks of life, as Dr. Tanaka tells us. And he said, and they indicate 4 things that must be there for something to be Buddhism. If it doesn't have that, it's not Buddhism, okay? So let me tell you what they are. So the first one is that all conditioned phenomena is suffering, or dukkha. Remember, I explained that before. Dukkha is in the Four Noble Truths. We learned about dukkha. Dukkha is often translated as suffering, but it means that life is a bumpy road. It's difficult, ups and downs, ups and downs. In and of itself, it's just the way things are. Why? Because everything is conditioned. All things, phenomena means things. All things are subject to causes and conditions. Something happens, a new condition is created, and then new actions in response to that condition, and so on and so on. So everything is always a bumpy road. And that's the simple way to put it. Life is a bumpy road. The second seal of the Dharma, so we know that life is a bumpy road. That is the essence. That's one of the 4 things that has to be there for it to be Buddhism, okay? So the second one is all conditioned phenomena, all things that exist in this world, whether you know anything you can taste or feel or think about or touch or see or hear, anything, your thoughts, everything, those are all conditioned things, conditioned phenomena. They lack substantial entity, or, he says, life is interdependent. Well, what that means is there's nothing in me that's above interdependence, okay? Everything in me is only arises from causes and conditions. So whether it's my thoughts, whether it's my fingernails, whether it's my hair, whatever it is, my aches and pains, everything is changing. Everything arises and it eventually disappears, turns into something else. Everything in me, the physical parts of my body, I'm born, I will eventually die, go back to the earth in some form or the other. The same thing happens to my thoughts every day. I might have a brilliant thought before I go to bed and think, oh yeah, I got to talk about that in my sermon, my Dharma message, and then when I wake up in the morning, it's totally forgotten forever, right? The thoughts are also impermanent. Same thing with opinions. We should never get attached to our opinions. That's one thing human beings tend to get attached to. Opinions are very dear to us, but we should realize, that they're just another conditioned phenomena. They arose because of your things you learned, things you encountered, experiences, and so on. And new experiences should alter your opinions. And if they don't, we're in trouble. You're in trouble. It's not a good way to live, to hold on to your opinions, no matter what you encounter, as if you have the final answer, I have the final answer. Well, that's a very unpleasant way to live, unpleasant way to be. The third seal of the Dharma is that all conditioned phenomena are impermanent, right? Life is impermanent. And that's easy to understand. Really, though, it's connected to the second seal, because interdependence and impermanence are just 2 sides of the same coin. If everything is always arises from causes and conditions, that means everything is always changing. That's why life is a bumpy road, the first one, dukkha. And why? And if everything is always changing, then everything is impermanent, right? Those things I forgot that I was supposed to do, as I get older, the things, the changes that happen to my body, right? As I'm getting older, people I've lost in my life, people have passed away, that's all impermanence. Everything has a beginning and an end. And within the beginning and end of our individual life, there's many, many things that, many beginnings and ends. Every day is a beginning and an end within the context of our of our whole life. So we realize that. Very important to realize that. To live our life with the understanding, that life is always up and down. So I shouldn't get attached to things. Life is not going to be this smooth, comfortable road. It's not going to be that. It's always dukkha. It's always this bumpy ride. So, go with it. Go with the up and the down and the up. Don't hold on to the ups. Don't regret the downs, right? It's all good. It's all equally good. We learn from everything. And realize there's nothing permanent in me. I'm always new. I'm always a result of the causes and conditions that have that have brought me to this moment, this day. And then realize also everything is impermanent. It's sad. It makes us sad. We can't help it, right? But to realize that, to understand that, we are able to embrace each moment of our life more deeply. Right? If we insist on pretending that there's no death, pretending that you can hold on to things forever, then what we tend to do, almost inevitably, is we forget about the people, the present moment. We forget about the people around us in the present moment. We only think afterwards, oh, I wish I had spent more time, etc., etc. If you realize, this may be my last moment, this may be our last moment together, right? This may be our last moment together. Take that seriously, and life will open up, because the only life that can really open up is the life of the present moment, this very moment right now. So I think that's very important. Now, the fourth seal of the Dharma. So these four things are what define Buddhism, no matter how different the surface is, must have these four qualities. Dukkha, suffering, interdependence, right? Everything is interdependent. Nothing is independently exists. It's interdependently existing. Nothing lives forever, nothing lasts forever, everything is impermanent. And then finally, and Reverend Tanaka says life can be great, okay? But the final seal, the fourth seal, is nirvana, is peace and tranquility, peaceful and tranquil. That's the hardest one to explain because most of us are not living in nirvana. We are living in samsara, the world of birth and death, of anxiety and fear and distress and stress and all those things. So it's hard for us to understand what that is. But what we can say about it, I think, is that he says life can be great. I think what we can say about it is that life is, or rather, we can say that there is somehow, despite the fact that nothing can be held on to, right? That life is full of problems and troubles, that we have old age, sickness, and death, and all those things. That when we are awakened to this reality and are able to come back to the moment and live fully in the moment, there is a kind of transcendent mind that cuts through all of that world of birth and death, all of that relative living. There is something deeper, indefinable, inconceivable. Shinran Shonin always used the word inconceivable. Inconceivable about this reality. We awaken to it beyond our understanding. So, in our tradition, Shinran Shonin taught us to realize that Amida Buddha brings us naturally to this nirvana, to this awakening beyond birth and death, beyond the dualities of life. And yet, even while we dwell in those dualities, even as we dwell in this world of difficulty, and with all of our imperfections and our inability to be what we want to be or who we think we should be, Amida brings us, Amida's working, boundless compassion brings us to a place of utter perfection, utter stillness, utter peace, even as we just remain our ordinary self in this very difficult world full of suffering and sorrow, and a lot of joy as well, if and when we realize these most important truths, these 4 seals of the Dharma. So thank you very much for listening, and we'll stop here for now, and I would like to now conclude these thoughts by reciting the Nambutsu, which really embraces and expresses all of these truths in these very simple words, Namo Amida Butsu. Just let go, bow, Namo, and be embraced by boundless compassion, regardless of the problems and the difficulties of life, the bumpy road. And that is our awakening, our becoming Buddha. So please join me in the Nambutsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. May all beings be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May I be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to me. May I live in peace and harmony. May my family be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my teachers be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my friends be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May strangers be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my enemies be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May all beings be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo. Thank you so much for participating in today's online YouTube Sunday service here at Kahului Hongwanji. I hope that you enjoyed today's service and take something away with you. Next week, we will be having our Ohigan, that's September 27th, excuse me. Our Ohigan, Ohigan is the service that we have at the time of the equinox, both in fall and in spring. And it is a Buddhist observance which has to do with harmony, with the equality of things, the balance and harmony of things, which is sort of exemplified in nature when the days and nights are of equal length. So we have a fall Ohigan and a spring Ohigan. And it also has to do with enlightenment, with crossing over. Higan means to cross over. So it is a time when, in the old days, when monks would practice very diligently the path of the Bodhisattva, so working very hard, practicing very hard for the well-being of, in order to save all beings. So the Bodhisattva wish is always to save all beings. That's really what Amida's vow is the ultimate form of. So next week we will be having our YouTube service as usual, almost as usual, because we will also be having a very limited in-person service in the temple. So it's a very limited number, and I don't want to tell you to come if you're around, just to show up, because only a very few people are going to be allowed to be in the room at the same time. So if many of our usual people will be usual regulars, you might say, will be called to attend the service, but we're not going to be doing a live stream of the service because we kind of don't have the manpower to handle all that, and also don't want to have people be in the video if they don't, who may not want to be in the video. So what we are going to do is we'll have the regular YouTube services prepared, and we will film, or excuse me, record the Dharma message, which will be given at the live in-person service, and then that Dharma message will be quickly incorporated into the YouTube video, and then it will be uploaded to YouTube. So our YouTube video will be a little bit late next week. It won't be out early in the morning. So usually I get it up late at night on Saturday. It won't be available until maybe 11, 12 o'clock on Sunday morning. So just so you know, it's not going to be up there right away, but it will be up, and it will include the Dharma message, which will be given to at the in-person Ohigan service. Okay, that's a big explanation, but just go ahead and watch the video next week, and you'll see. All right, thank you very much, and watch afterwards. You'll see some further announcements in text following at the end of the service. Okay, thank you very much, and let's conclude our service now by reciting the Nambutsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida.